we have a lot of memes on this channel about effing around and finding out. Well, these two woke sisters, they did just that. And I really love covering these stories because with all the other stories I cover on this channel, whether it's like that kid who reenacted Charlie's assassination and then turned it into $30,000, or all the bad stuff, I think it's really important to remember that sometimes karma is actually real and that these people don't always get away with it. Now, last week, a couple of sister activists drove out of their way so they could destroy a Charlie Kirk memorial outside the Bentonville courthouse. Well, Bentonville has said, hey, we're Arkansas, and we don't stand for that garbage here. And the fallout has been so tremendous, so amazing. I just had to share it with you today. Let's get into it. This was sent to me, by the way, in our members chat room. Make sure you sign up for that at thequartering.com/join. Join the members chat room, and you can send stories directly to me, Hannah Claire, Melanie Mack, as well as my staff. We interact. We have fantasy football. We have a costume contest, a pumpkin carving contest going on, self-defense chats, EDC chats, everything, church chats, a mom's group, all sorts of stuff to build your community. And I hope that you'll join because it's amazing. I love spending time in there, and I'm spending more time in there and less time on X. And I'm feeling a lot better about it. Breaking. Arkansas activist Carrie Rollo, the woman who vandalized the Charlie Kirk Memorial outside the Bentonville courthouse, is now facing the full weight of consequences. First of all, she lost her job. Now she's been evicted from her home and is reportedly pleading online for financial help. So far, sympathy and support appear absent, a sobering reminder that actions have consequences. Now, again, look how happy she is here, flipping off the camera, destroying the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Like, I don't really know what the criminal charge for this would be. Perhaps like some pretty basic stuff, criminal mischief or vandalism, or maybe something like that. I don't really know exactly what the charges are. But society has also decided that we're going to impose some other charges. From my view, the legal penalty for vandalism is one thing, but losing your job and home on top of it feels like a societal punishment that goes way too far. Nope, let me stop you right there. I have said it multiple times and I will continue to say it and repeat it. The only way that this gets fixed is through societal shaming, societal punishment, societal backlash. I don't care if you lose your job, and I don't care. What if you were renting your house, perhaps from a conservative, and they thought, boy, I don't want to rent to this loser. We also don't know for a fact that maybe this person, maybe they were already behind on their rent, or maybe they had a whole variety of other issues that, could have led to them losing their job and losing their house. They seem wildly unhinged. They wrote, after the recent events of Charlie Kirk's death, my sibling and I are being doxxed online, and my sibling was fired from their job. This is a direct violation of their First Amendment rights. Again, let me point out again, as I always do, this is not a First Amendment issue. It isn't. It just isn't. It's not a First Amendment issue. It's a societal issue. I've said this before. This was brought up on my live stream by Hannah Claire Brimlow, and I think, I always want to give her credit for that. When we talk about like the abortion crisis, too many people are getting abortions, okay? I am pro-life, but I am anti-government intervention. So the only way I can achieve what I would like is when society says, hey, you're wearing a shirt that said you had 37 abortions. You're kind of a piece of garbage. I kind of don't want you in my friend group. I kind of don't want you in my D&D group. I don't want you, our kids playing together. I don't want, you probably don't have kids. I don't want to hang out with you. That's how actual change happens. This is why I lean more libertarian on most things. Some law around how tall someone's fence can be doesn't change people's, will to want a large fence, or their will to go against that type of thing. It's just not how this stuff works. Society saying you're a garbage human being, that's how you make real change. Please help my sibling while they look for another job and stand against the tyranny that is creeping into our country. Update, my sibling and I were both arrested for this protest. We have been threatened, doxxed, harassed, and fired. This wasn't a protest. You damaged property. If you wanted to stand next to the memorial with a sign that said, F Charlie Kirk or something like that, you would have been totally within your First Amendment rights. But that's not what you did. Damaging this property, trespassing, vandalism, these are not protected by the First Amendment. The left, first of all, never really understood the First Amendment, and they never cared about it either. They didn't care about it when cancel culture took Tucker Carlson's job. They didn't care about First Amendment when people wanted to speak out against the jab. They didn't care about it when people were getting fired from their jobs for not getting the jab, did they? They supported it. They didn't care about it when they encouraged people to tattle on their neighbors for having too many people at their Thanksgiving dinner during the lockdowns. The great thing about the internet is that it's forever. But the great thing about the left's newfound pretend interest in the First Amendment is that everyone alive today remembers how they were during the lockdowns. They remember how they were during the pandemic. These people didn't care about First Amendment rights. They didn't care about any of your rights. They wanted you to wear the mask. They wanted your business to be shut down. They wanted you to get fired if you didn't get the jab. And they were proudly saying it online. Well, now they're worried about people's rights. Well, sorry, it doesn't work that way. We know that you didn't care then. Please consider giving us money. Another failure, this time epic. All people had to do was be fully against murdering somebody for their political opinions. And that was a moral test. Shocking to see how many people have failed. And the story gets more hilarious. After two sisters in Arkansas were arrested for vandalizing a Charlie Kirk memorial, they are now begging for money for legal fees through a GoFundMe campaign. Carrie Melissa Rollo and Kaylee Heather Rollo, 22 and 23, were both arrested for vandalizing a memorial set up at the Benton County Courthouse to honor the conservative youth activist. Both women were charged with first-degree criminal mischief, and Kaylee Rollo was also charged with obstruction of a governmental operation, according to Benton County Sheriff's Office last week. Good. These few people getting arrested is one thing, but covering this, talking about this, laughing at their misfortune has the societal aspects that I want, that actually fix these things. In a photo shared by the Sheriff's Office, look at the women too. Of course they look like that. Of course they look like that. In a photo shared by the Sheriff's Office, one of the women can be seen standing amid a collection of candles, giving a middle finger to the camera. The photo appears to be a still image from a video that circulated social media, showing the women ripping up signs and kicking over candles at the memorial. This was not a protest. Everyone has a right to be able to express their freedom of expression, but what the issue is when you trample on someone's memorial, the human act of grieving. Bollinger said in a statement to the broadcaster, you're not trampling on their freedom of expression, you're trampling on the memory of a person. You're trampling on our Benton County values. Neither offending county's values nor disrespecting the memory of a deceased person typically constitutes speech out of the protections of the First Amendment. Of course, their GoFundMe page titled Fight Against Fascism, the sisters have said they've been doxxed, and Kaylee, who appears to have written the page's message, said her sister was fired. Don't care. On Friday, a judge set Carrie's bond at $15,000 and Kaylee's bond at $7,500. Carrie requested a public defender while Kylie has retained her own attorney. You're going to lose this, by the way. You weren't charged with speech crimes. You were charged with legitimate on the books crimes. You aren't no amount of lawyer is going to get you out of this. And pissing money away on it is equally dumb. And of course, we tune in, and I will say as a reminder, the left hates you and wants you dead. Fight against fascism. Help pay for our legal fees. Now, they didn't want to write the actual word fascism, so they used the number 4, right? So they went to Charlie Kirk's thing. and put all these Gaza signs, apparently, and children of Palestine, apparently. Again, here they're showing like Facebook messages. This is horrible because it doesn't fit them. They aren't the only ones in this world. That most certainly doesn't revolve around them. Kaylee Rello and the other one I forget, but that's the other girl's names. So what? You wanted people to know you did this. I don't care that you were doxxed, and I don't care that you were fired, and I don't care that you were kicked out of your apartment. Somebody spent $5 to say, you got what you deserved. I hope when you pass, your family has to see someone destroy your memorial, which based on the video, you probably won't have. Only low-life humans would do such a thing to another human, let alone a father, all because you didn't agree what he believed. Freedom of speech is what you're fighting for, but destroying something based on someone's isn't what you're fighting for, but for destroying something based on their beliefs. I guess it pays, so it's backfiring for them. I guess it pays to do something deplorable. You just keep on winning. First, you deface Charlie Kirk's memorial site, and you cause a serious car crash while on illicit drugs. Uh-oh. Oops, maybe that's why you were fired. I hope you come to a point where you turn your life around and realize how you only hurt, and that's not the way to live. If anyone sees this and wants to help me keep my apartment of 19 years, go to my own GoFundMe. I have serious, people are using it to FAFO, what'd you expect, I mean, I love it. So people are going to this GoFundMe and dunking on them. Now, I wouldn't recommend, I would be refunding that GoFundMe, I don't think GoFundMe should be actually platforming this particular fundraiser, but that's up to them. We know GoFundMe is a leftoid outlet, but you absolutely love to see it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.